Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Game 18 of the MavWar Hype Unity Tournament 2018, right here on the Maverick Warriors Twitch, being streamed by Xbye this evening. I am Rails Barlow, one of your two casters for today's game between teams Natus Vincere and Team Leethal Assault Organization. Joining me for this cast here on Death Toll is the one and only Mr. Techno Beaver. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. As he said, I'm Techno Beaver, back again for my third cast of the whole tournament, really. And today we've got a great game. Game 18, as he said, it's Navi versus Leo, and this is a very important game, especially for Navi, because if they win this, they are going to be pretty much the leaders in the entire tournament. You know, they're going to move up to the next stage of the competition, the semifinals. And it's going to be really, really important for them, too, because then they'll be undefeated. They are undefeated right now because they won that last match against Thinking with a pretty good point margin, I would say. I casted that match, and Navi really held their own, especially on map 3 of that campaign. So it's going to be exciting to see what they pull out this game.
Exactly, and as you said, this is an important match not only for Team Navi, but in order for Team LAO to stay alive in this tournament, they need to win this game. And not only win this game, they need to win this game by a good amount. Due to the way that things are shaking out in this group, you know, we have one team, I think, that's auto-forfeiting the next game. So Team Thinking is going to go to 2-1. But somehow Team LAO needs to win this game and then leapfrog a point differential in their standings. So they're going to need to not only win this game by a little bit, but they need to win this by, I think, a couple thousand points in order to keep that going. But if they were able to get to that 2-1 margin, that would obviously be ideal for them. It's doable. We've seen score differentials that big in this tournament so far, but they are definitely going to need to put in that kind of work on this map right here in order to keep that dream alive.
Especially. This is map 1 of Death Toll, so of course it's going to be exciting to see what happens. You've got the bridge to start out. That's always a very fun place for the Infected. I wonder how the Infected will handle this. We do have Team LAO going first. They are, the match is about to go live, they are the Infected, and it looks like they are going to start to set up here. We do have a, oh, hold on, let me get my spec HUD up. That just disappeared. That's great. We do. Right? Okay, we have 2 hunters, a boomer, and a spitter. It looks like they're starting to set up around. Ooh, they spawn in 2 hunters. Spitter gets taken out. Boom gone, single boom got. 2 hunters looking for a catch. They aren't seeming to catch. One gets hunted onto Lewis, but not a whole lot of damage there. I mean, the hunters and the spitter got taken out almost immediately.
Yeah, this tank's going to be before the bridge, so they are definitely just going to push it on Survivor side now. I'm pretty sure they should be able to get it up. And indeed, they do. For Team Navi on the Survivor side, we have Disco, Nevermore, Putty, and Cold Zero. And who do we have for Team LAO here, Techno?
Well, we have for Team LAO, Reach, Tool, North, and Lawnmower.
And I think, actually, this tank in the hands of News is going to start setting up his hittables right away. How about we kick it over to our first worm of the game for an LAO Infected side?
Sounds like a great idea. Let's do it.
That's boom.
Maybe come in if you get your cards.
Okay. Pretty good sight.
I'm reloading.
Oh shit, you're for.
I'll get it.
I'm reloading.
Oh,
Fucking car. Fuck that car.
Reloading.
I'm gonna commit. Oh, wow.
Reloading.
Help.
What? What the fuck was that? Oh, that was so dumb. That was so retarded.
Okay.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, from that first worm of the game for Team LAO. Not quite the start they were looking for. There was a triple boom that the tank committed on, but on that punch on Disco, Disco was like a little bit underneath the tank because he was in the middle of those 2 cars, and the tank's punch hit the hittable and went over his head instead, so not even in-cap going out. Techno, what do you think of that?
I kind of agree with your assessment. It wasn't a very good tank play. They definitely needed to do a little more. At least one in-cap would have been nice, but they weren't even able to do that. The boomer, when they got the triple boomer, I think the tank just didn't capitalize that on enough. You know, he didn't get in there fast enough, and the survivors were able to focus their fire on the tank as soon as that boomer wore off.
Exactly, yeah. Now Team LAO has a Spitter, Charger, and 2 other spawns coming into queue, but as we mentioned at the top of this cast, they need to do a lot of damage and actually make a lot of points in this entire campaign just because of the point differential situation right now. But so far, they gotta worry about winning the match first, and they have an okay hit on the special infected side of this, but all 4 survivors still looking very, very healthy as they walk into this Charger, Smoker, Spitter, Boomer hit.
Absolutely. It looks like they're all trying to set up right now. This is a very tight area, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens as this Charger moves a little closer towards the survivors, but he's backing off. You know, it's the stairwell could be a very, very good place for that Spitter and Charger to capitalize on, so we'll have to see what happens here.
Yeah, and I think ditching the Smoker is the right call, because if you're trying to hit the survivors inside, there's really nowhere good for that Smoker to come from except for like insta-pull, but the Charger goes in by himself and dies right there with a spit going down, and this is not the level of special infected coordination that we're looking for out of Team LAO so far. I mean, the one sack was okay unless they're trying to shoot for some kind of quad cap attempt, but now this Hunter is actually already pre-spawned in this room by himself, going to go in and get scratches. I am not exactly sure what is happening on that LAO side so far, but it is not ideal.
That was not very good. The Spitter did try to delay him a little bit by rushing forward and suiciding to just block him a bit. The Witch does get angered. But good crown from there, from Francis. I mean, going back to that infected play though, that was not what they were looking for. They did barely any damage.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't had a full hit of all 4 spawns at the same time in about maybe 40 seconds at this point. Boomer is going to go in, and I don't think they're going to get one at the end either. That's going to be a pull going out onto a green survivor with Spit going on top of that as well, but the Smoker actually pulls the survivor out of Spit, had Zoe run through it, so they made the most of it with those 3 SI, but again now, this Hunter is going to be looking probably just for a DP or something to end this, but it's actually just going to bounce around underneath instead, and actually, Team Navi are backing up right now, trying to find a way to clear these common before that last hit comes in. Now to be a DP coming in from the Hunter, almost landing onto that common infected, I think. Actually, no, he managed to hit Zoe right there at the end after hitting that common, but that should be safe for Team Navi with a very, very healthy bonus, as a matter of fact, bringing their total score to 937 techno for this first half of map 1.
I mean, that's really good for Navi, but really bad for LAO. As we've stated multiple times, LAO needs to win by a huge margin to even stay in this tournament, and them getting almost 1,000 points on map 1, that's not good for LAO.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, and at this stage, like, it's death toll. That's the other thing, is we just saw Team Navi do a good job on the survivor side, but this campaign is named Wipe Toll for a reason. You don't typically see massive, like, score, like, deltas on this map either, unless one team is just finding a way to somehow wipe on most of the tanks on survivor side as well. So when you have teams of a comparable skill level, it's usually fairly close. However, in a situation like this, one team gets out in front early and then capitalizes on these hittables and some of the wonkiness of these death toll tanks, we could see a large lead building for Navi early in this game.
Absolutely, and that, I mean, they really... this could be great for Navi, survivor side, or infected side now. As you said, Wipe Toll, you know, Wipe City over here. Looks like the infected are starting to set up. Hunter pre-spawns in. Looks like he's going to be trying to go for some sort of pounce here, but the other infected are just saving their spawns right now. Boomer spawns in, but he gets picked off almost immediately. Hunter goes in, Spitter as well. Hunter and Spitter onto Bill, and a little damage onto Zoe as well. So really good, decent start from Navi there. Better than LAO was managed to do in their first attack, but, I mean, not very good.
Absolutely. When you have that hit-free bridge, that's pretty much what you're looking for. We actually have the survivor back in the safe room right now, getting a silenced Uzi. The tank is up in the hands of Nevermore for Team Navi. How about we kick it over to that Team Navi War and see what they can do?
Sounds good.
Reloading.
Hunter?
No, just wait.
You guys should just play like as long as they can, or
Yeah, just play as long as you can. The more damage you get, the better. Yeah, where's your second car? Alright, that's good.
one's down below, one's on the bridge
See ya.
or crossover.
Just be ready to get him a hit.
Let this guy spawn and get a spawn first.
You guys ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Going on there? Let's hit 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh!
Hunter's got Bill.
You got it rock, right?
Yeah.
No.
Noise, noise,
Nice.
noise.
So lucky I flew right over that guy.
Should get a Boomer next.
I need you to land this hit though.
We're gonna start pushing. We're gonna push him into the safe room, Kodzera. You're gonna spawn behind this sign. You see where I am? You ready, Jockey?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, let's go. Nice. We got the boom at least.
Got one boom.
You just keep sight.
Oh my
goodness.
gosh.
That's fine.
So
We'll
close.
get you another hit.
Alright, whenever you guys get.
Ready? I'm gonna pull on. 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Whoa.
I hit the charger with the rock.
That's fine. We got some damage done. And next looks like they're gonna push forward, maybe. Dude, all you need is 2 in caps.
Yeah.
And
It's hard to loss.
you fucking beat the bonus.
If he gets one,
Yeah, he gets 1 in cap. It's.
I just have to commit.
I'm gonna try to throw in that boomerang first. Boomer, can you spawn by the cars over here? You see where
Let's
I am?
try to get the hit. So I get the rock.
Boomer, come here, where the hunter is. You can spawn right here in this corner. Let's get him a rock right now. That's fine, whatever. Let's just fucking go in. You ready?
Yeah, you better hide.
Let's go.
Get it off me!
Alright, just.
I go
you're
back
gonna-
to my car.
Yeah. Oh, we won't have a boomer, so
Where is my car actually?
we'll probably have a charger and smoker.
I think it's right here, on top of this one, or
Alright,
it's right there.
that's right here.
Boomer. That's fine. Maybe a hard boom in the line. You guys help him out soon? Like help him out now? Oh, help him out? Can you kill him? Nice, bro.
Nice, really good.
And a rock. Thanks, bro.
Alright, we did it.
My boom didn't do anything.
We did it!
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That was the first tank for Team Navi in the hands of Nevermore, getting a kill on the tool right there. When he pressed in, I think that car was like pressed up against the other like already static car right there from that hittable, and I'm not sure if the survivors were completely aware of where that was, and because of that he was able to get a death on to Tool after that first tank. We have one survivor up top as well, getting pounced right now by that hunter with a boomer spawning up behind the car, getting, oh my god, I thought he was about to get nothing, but he actually got one. Techno, this is unfortunate for LAO because now they're definitely going to be down going into map 2.
No, it's going to be really bad for them. As you said, one guy did get killed off on LAO. The tank was really good on Team Navi. Not only were they able to secure a death, but they played it out really well, I thought. You know, at the beginning they were throwing rocks, being really patient, being very careful with that tank, because they knew that they needed to shut LAO down really fast, and that was the way to do it, by getting an in cap and a down. So really good play by Navi there. And we'll have to see what happens as the Infected begin to set up for another attack. We do have a Jockey, Spitter, Charger, and Smoker.
Yeah, and the other thing I will say about that tank is that the tank really didn't tunnel its hittable that much. He kind of kited the survivors back into it after pushing it in, and that's one of the strategies you want to look for instead of just trying to knock that hittable around the safe room. If you can actually get the survivors push in one direction, either towards the hittable or towards the SI, you take a great advantage of that space, so good on Nevermore for doing that as well. Survivors baiting this out pretty hard right now because they only have 3 people up, and they also know they pretty much have to make this map with the bonus that they have. I'd be very surprised to see them play this any more recklessly than they are. Charger is going to land though and does get cleared, but they smoke going out onto the charge survivor in front. All 3 SI actually going out onto Lawnmower for a good amount of damage, but obviously not the wipe.
Yeah, I mean, again, a good amount of damage there, but not the wipe that they were looking for. I mean, LAO, I don't even think they're going to be able to make it to the safe room. It looks with, you know, only 3 survivors and the way Navi's been playing on Infected side. We'll have to see what happens. They do aggro the Witch, and they mess up the crown. That's going to be really, really bad for them, because as a boomer, gets a double boom, and look at that. I mean, Zoe just trying to do something as Lewis gets smoked off. I think this is a wipe. This is most likely the wipe, as Zoe is the only survivor left up. Oh, Lewis gets freed. Zoe looking to clear a couple more common, but I mean, this could be all over.
Yeah, Zoe did a good job of dodging that charger right there, but unfortunately Lawnmower is not quite back onto his feet due to that boom horde going out. There is a jockey in the spawn queue right now as well, and they're trying to keep him down. Jockey's gonna land onto Nuke right there for a good amount of damage, not quite getting the clear from Lewis yet, but now he is indeed gonna get it, reach getting that clear before Zoe goes down. Hunter and a Spitter though, and another Boomer going in. They're trying to keep Lawnmower down. Indeed, they're going to. That's going to be a pounce and a Spit going out on top of that. That's going to be the in-cap onto Reach, and this is indeed, as you were saying before, going to be the wipe onto Team LAO as soon as they get another pinner there, because one Survivor up plus Boom Horde on down Survivor is not going to do a fantastic amount. That's going to be Team... Well, actually, he's going to throw the bile. He's going to throw the bile in front of him just because of that horde, but that's going to be a 937 to 288 point lead for Team Navi going into map 2. That is not what LAO needs.
Really, really bad. They're going to need to step up their game on pretty much every other map. You know, perfect health bonuses, all 4 survivors making it. That's the only way they're going to be able to stay in this. Zoe, when she threw the Boomer Bile, I think she was looking to just get those commons away from her so she could try and secure at least, you know, 1 survivor in the safe room. But, I mean, I think she messed up the throw, and it just landed right on top of her, and, you know, the smoker got her. That was it for LAO. It was really bad from the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a death that early, and that's the thing about Death Toll, even if it's not a wipe at that tank, they obviously wipe before the safe room, right? And you see a good amount of tank wipes go out, but hittables and stuff like that add a different degree of gameplay into this, aside from just having, like, a here, push the tank in, try to get support. You have a whole bunch of things that can happen kind of randomly. There is a meme death punch on this map in one of the tunnels as well from the tank, but at this stage, your Team LAO basically just shelve that first map, completely forget about it, and be like, okay, what exactly can we do with this tank at 38% and the hits beforehand to try to get this back under control?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the tank and Witch are pretty spread apart. Tank at 38 and Witch at 88. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play, especially with that tank. They're definitely going to go for 1 attack right near the safe room, I feel. But I think after that, what I would do is just stick your spawns, wait for the tank to come out, and then play together, play smart when that happens. But, I mean, we're going to have to see what happens here. We do have a Smoker Spitter Charger, and then appears to be a Jockey gearing up for a first attack here right out of the safe room. We'll have to see what happens when the game goes live, though, as we have 3 more about to ready up.
Yeah, and I agree with what some people are saying, actually, in the chat, where it's like, okay, these teams are, on paper, like, somewhat balanced in that way, but the thing is, as someone mentioned, you know, Team LAO has gone through a couple of lineup changes. They did play their last match with this lineup on carried off, but the familiarity of Team Navi has been impressive so far, bringing them to the 2-0 record that they do have. And they've scrimmed, you know, a pretty good amount. I'm not sure exactly how much they scrimmed for Death Toll, but I think they played a couple games before their other matches, and typically that's what you kind of need to build that kind of cohesion together when you have that kind of balance there. And at this stage in the tournament, you know, LAO having to integrate their lineup, plus also then find a way to fight back from a bad differential in their first game, has put them in the position that they're in right now. Let's see exactly what they can do with it, though. We are going to be going live second map of Death Toll right here. Team Navi on Survivor, Team LAO on Special Infected. You can take it away.
Absolutely. Survivor looking to just clear away any common in the area. You know, the Spitter queuing up. They all appear to be queuing up in the corners, on the rooftops over here. Survivors are playing this really, really slow. They're just trying to keep as much of their health up as possible. They're trying to clear out all the common out of the room. Smoker spawns in on top of the barrel thing, but he doesn't manage to do anything crazy. Charger looks for a charge. He does get it, and the Spitter also does a couple more damage onto Francis over there. The Jockey does appear to get taken out, though, and that's all the infected dead there.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, too, you almost have the multi-cap right there when that Jockey tried to go back towards the safe room. And, you know, you don't want to shoot for huge plays on every hit and that kind of stuff. You just kind of want to go in together and see what happens. But there's always the potential of something like a quad or something like a nice tri-boom coming off the top where the survivors can't exactly pop it. And they're actually going to back up all the way. The tank is not in play yet, but I like this call from Team Navi. Even though they're leading, they're just going to go back to a better spot to take this hit. Smoker, though, is going to get that pull. Jockey got insta-cleared. Now the Smoker gets cleared, and this Charger's just coming in from the back and has absolutely nothing he can do.
Yeah, no, I mean, that tri-boom was really, really well done, and, you know, Team Navi, they made the right call backing up because then they were able to clear out all the common. The tank has spawned in now, and it looks like the Boomer is a ghost, and we have 2 more Special Infected waiting to spawn in as Team Navi backs it up all the way towards the safe room area, in fact.
Yeah, so and this tank is in the hands of Tool. For those that don't know, Tool's been in this community since almost the dawn of Left 4 Dead 1, Left 4 Dead 2. One of the best tanks, in my opinion, that this game has ever seen. And if there's ever a time for him to do work, it is going to be right now. How about we kick it over to that LAO Worm and see how he plays this tank?
Let's do it.
If they give you a punch by the door, I'm just gonna come and jockey it out.
Neat, another boomer.
Wait till I'm in before you get there.
Yeah. Just let us know.
Watch out!
Punch this guy. Shoot the other one. Shoot the other one, go up.
I'm gonna wait for someone. You ready? Oh, nice kill. Nice kill. Nice.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That was the tank in the hands of Tool, getting a death there on to Zoe. He actually missed a good deal of punches in the safe room, though. That's surprising to me to see, actually, where his support was able to get a pretty good amount of damage, obviously, with one survivor going outside the safe room and a double boom landing. But that actually should have been a wipe, in my opinion.
I agree. I'm kind of disappointed. I think that should have been a little more damage at least done. They were stuck, the survivors stuck in a closed up room, the safe room. Only one way to get out. They had the support, and you know, I don't know what happened there. The tank just didn't play up to its full potential. But the charger does go out, lands a couple of hits. Spitter looking to delay something here, gets a little more damage as the smoker does a little more damage as well onto France, and they're just going to continue moving on as if nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean, and right now, because of what happened on Survivor side last map for Team LAO, it's pretty even at this point with the positions flipping, but can Navi get these points with 3 survivors right now, and then also can LAO duplicate the success that Navi had on the Survivor side first map to try to draw this game even by map 3. We will see first if they can land that 3 cap, and they have a Hunter, Charger, Boomer, and a Jockey to do it. Charger looks like they want to come from down below with the Jockey spawning in the front. Hunter coming from down below as well. Charger lands, Hunter lands, and the M2 goes out from Disco onto that Jockey, preventing that 3 cap wipe.
That almost was a wipe. That was extremely close. Very, very good play there from Navi. They secured it, but the Tri-Boom does go out. It looks like they're just going to be trying to push forward and get over this crescendo event right now, just trying to get a little more distance points. I mean, three survivors left. Anything could happen at this point. I think they're just going to try and go for distance points, especially since their health isn't looking so great.
Oh yeah, at this point they're trying to milk as much distance out as they possibly can. Hit is coming in right now though with a Hunter going in on a pre-spit. That should be enough to down Disco. And now they have another Hunter and a Jockey, but that's going to be a Skeet going out onto that other Hunter. So there's only 1 capper left up right now for Team LAO. And that Jockey's going to just troll that Survivor who's still down before jumping on a Nevermore and almost going off the side. But Cold Zero does a pretty good job of clearing that Jockey off, and they're not quite wiped yet.
Jesus, I mean, Lewis over there, he's so close to death right now. I mean, only 11 HP, and, you know, Disco very, very low on health right now, even though he is in cap. They're trying to get him up. The Boomer does get a single boom, and he does get blown up as well. The Charger looks like he's trying to capitalize on this one boom, as all the survivors are just split apart and disorganized and confused, but I don't know what's going to happen here. We also have a Smoker about to spawn in along with a Spitter, so it looks like they're waiting for a full cap. Never mind, Charger goes in, managed to do a little bit of damage, but he does get cleared out.
Yeah, and that room is one of those things where you need either a Survivor standing all the way up on that pile of rubble, or you need 2 people to block it like that. And obviously, I don't think the Survivors are expecting that Charger to get that spawn as this Jockey latches onto Disco and gets a good amount of damage into that spit. And I would also say that in a situation like this, Navi should probably be dead right now, and LAO's probably not too happy they're getting this many distance points. They still have bonus on Cold Zero as well. They could make this map.
They could continue to do a good amount of points on this map, especially if they do manage to get Cold Zera into the safe room. I mean, that would be great, obviously, but the double boom does go out. I don't think it's going to be likely for that to happen, though. I mean, LAO, they're going to be playing desperate right now. They're going to be very aggressive. I think they're just going to be going, as soon as they have a spawn ready, they're just going to go for it, as most of these infected, or most of the survivors are low on health. Looks like Bill does get taken out by the Charger. He's in capped, and there goes that health bonus that they so desperately needed there. Looks like Francis trying to revive him, but, you know.
Nevermore backed into that corner, and the spit like spread around him. Like that was pretty good just to be able to dodge that. Now he's gonna try to jump down and clear this Jockey as well, and he does get the clear. So again, they're not quite dead, but they're trying to milk these distance points now with the rest of that bonus being taken out, as you mentioned. But Team LAO are going to probably try to get them before they manage to get these witch points as well. It's going to be a Hunter Charger and a Boomer spawning up at the top. Boomer spawns behind, gets a long boom. As the Charger rockets off the top, manages to land. Hunter going to land the double cap right there onto Disco as well. But again, Nevermore getting that clear. Now all the Horde's going to be on Cold Zero, who's going to go down to the Boomer. And if they can get those witch points, that would be big. If they can find a way to do that. Disco's going to get pills as well. Spit goes in, but he already took the pills, so they're not quite going to be able to down him either. This is a great example of just Navi not giving up on this map. And that Tri-Boom does land, but Disco clearing the common right there. They're going to get Cold Zero back up. This is actually impressive, I would say, Techno.
This is very, very impressive. I mean, Navi, they're just not giving up. They're fighting until the very last breath. But I think we've all forgotten about the Witch, who is about to pull a Survivor. Oh, never mind. I guess the Survivor got stuck. But it doesn't matter because he dies anyways from the Smoker. The Witch is still up right now.
Nevermore hit that melee ski! Sorry. That was one of those moments where he turned around and one-clicked lawnmower right there. And now Disco's trying to pull. Disco's really trying to pull the Witch, but he can't. Nevermore's going to go down to common as the Smoker tongue breaks. And even Team Navi here they're having a moment right now. But Disco's going for the crown. He's going to get the extra 25 points. And finally the Smoker goes out unless Nevermore gets some insane pistol clear. Not going to get it, but that was an entertaining way to get like 200 extra points after having someone die.
Absolutely. I mean, that was very good play from Navi. They did lose someone very early on in the match, but I mean, they're about to become infected. That tank play, we saw how dangerous that was with the right support. I think if that same tactic goes out where LAO, they decide, you know what, we want to take this in the safe room as well, that Navi will be able to pull out even more damage. I think they're going to... I'm expecting 2 deaths from this tank. I'm calling it right now. 2 deaths from Navi.
See, the thing about this is actually weird to see a death there, right, when Zoe was taken outside the safe room. If the survivors are able to get back in position in there, right, the way that usually goes to shit, there's one of 2 ways, right, and it requires a couple components, right? The tank needs to be able to get a corner almost on its own, and then a Boomer either needs to land, or when the survivors are cutting him back around, they need to get intercepted by the SI. So if they're able to get a couple people outside, I can see the death thing, but it's more likely either it gets 1, a good amount of damage, or 2, sometimes the tank can get shut down if the SI support all funneling through the door get focused by the survivors and they don't get stumbled or something like that. That's what I've seen, but also booms in there, as we saw in the last half, are also pretty dang hard to deal with when the common get in. We are going to be live right here. Now IO's turn on the survivor side. What's his first hit looking like?
Well, we do have a Spitter, Jockey, Charger, and Smoker all about to spawn in and set up. It looks like they're going to be, you know, doing the first hit right outside. Survivors, again, just clearing out any common they can see, you know, just taking it nice and slow. LAO, they need to get all 4 survivors if they want to stay in this thing, and they need to have a good health bonus, so it's going to be very important to see how they play, especially with this first hit coming out. They're going to try and be very, very cautious, very, very slow and meticulous. The Smoker does spawn in, gets taken out immediately though. Charger gets taken out immediately, but Lewis, that Jockey just does a little bit of damage on him and gets some scratches. I mean, that's a very good play, and then the Spitter delays them by spitting right on the door. So, I mean, good first play from Navi, and that's not looking too good for LAO right off the bat with Lewis almost down to 75% health.
Yeah, the one advantage right now that Team LAO does have, that 2 survivors are still 5 punches for that safe room, and Reach is down to like 81. And I think that would have been perfect for them had Reach either been able to M2 that Jockey or also get out of the safe room instead of getting intercepted there. But now the question is, okay, they have a hit to take right here. They obviously don't know what the SI have, but can they get this, get back cleanly, and not get intercepted by the tank, which is going to be in the hands of Disco for Navi when it spawns. It's going to be a Charger, Spitter, Boomer, and a Jockey for this hit. And if you notice, Zoe is playing all the way up there to the back, trying to get that spawn block, because the survivors know they're going to be running backwards. Nevermore spawns the Smoker up in the front, though, and I think the Charger found a spawn in the corner, trying to go for a pull charge spit, but not quite landing it. Charger's going to go in for punches and does get taken out by Tool. That should clear the way aside from this Boomer in the hands of Cold Zero.
Yeah, absolutely. And the tank does spawn in now in the hands of Disco. Let's see what happens there.
Oh god, they're fighting it here?
That's not a good idea in my opinion, but we'll have to see what happens as we take it into a war room.
Indeed, yeah. How about we take it over to a Team Navi war room? This spot can be pretty good, but they're going to just shut down that Boomer and then not get charged. I like the safe room better, but let's see how Team LAO does it.
Just kill it. Get ahead.
You want us to kill our hits?
Just go in. Get ahead. Go. Oh Oh no.
Watch out!
You got this, Disky.
Yo, can you? He's playing aggressive. Whatever.
They're running back. They're trying to AI you, dude.
Get that boom. I have eyes on reach. Oh, I don't. I'm fucking going AI. Jesus Christ.
Holy.
It's not great. Not great for us.
Oh no, this is not good.
Yo, you guys need to be like more responsive. Like as soon as I just say something, just fucking do it. There's no hesitation.
We're just gonna hit them.
In technical terms, juking is when you're able to dodge something that was trying to hit you, and we just saw a team-level juke from Team LAO on the Disco tank. They've managed to get an AI tank in safe room. Now, they're going to have 5 special infected on the side of Navi, and I'm not saying that I called for an AI tank to be an MVP of a game a couple days ago, although I did. I really want to see how this is going to work out, because they're going to need to completely kite this tank and then shut down 4SI, but the tank is rocking in the door, going for a pin there, not quite going to land. AI tank pushing them from the one side. If they eat this hit, it's going to be huge. We have a Hunter landing, we have a Charger going in, the tank, see, multi-punch! Oh my god, AI tank clearing his own Hunter right there. I thought he was going to be able to get like a triple punch into that corner, instead running around, trying to get another punch right there. AI tank almost repeated his performance from a couple of matches ago, not quite, and this is actually looking really good for LAO right now.
I'm so confused. I mean, yes, good play from LAO there, surviving that what should have been a very, very deadly tank play. I'm very confused as to what was going through their heads when they first came up towards the Crescendo event and said, yeah, let's take it here. They made the right call going back to the safe room. I mean, chipping away was not the thing to do there, especially when Navi could just spawn literally anywhere. I had no faith in their defense and them being able to take care of any flankers or anything like that. But we'll have to see what happens as Navi begins to spawn in again, getting ready for another attack as the Crescendo event gets closer and closer with the survivors moving forward. Hunter does spawn in, gets taken out immediately though. Another Hunter looking for an in-cap. Double boom goes out, the Spitter gets hit as well, and that's going to be a good amount of damage on Bill as he blows up the boomer.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Tool doesn't have tools right now, because they're going to have to not only start that event, but they're also going to get Tool back inside before any other pinners are up. But they should be able to do it and clear the horde off of him. But that kind of AI tank play is exactly what LAO needed. You don't typically like to see teams AIing tanks intentionally, but when that tank they kind of figured was on second pass like that, it's like, okay, either you're going to have to intercept us, or your SI hit's going to have to intercept us. I think they caught Team Navi completely off guard with that. We'll see if Team LAO, though, can preserve their bonus in these next couple of hits. Jockey, Smoker, Spitter, and a Charger. Jockey, Charger from the bottom. Smoker on the top right here. We do have a Charger going out and intercepting on a Jock target with a pull into Spit. That's a lot of damage going out on LAO from that hit.
That's very, very good on terms of Navi. Very good play there. They were able to take Lewis out a good amount. He's losing a lot of damage right now. His HP is 44, and I mean, their health bonus is very important right now. I mean, you do have a few survivors, you know, in the green, especially with Nuth, who's at 98 HP somehow with an Uzi, and you know, that health bonus is just going to be so important for them. You know, they need those points to have any chance of staying in this competition.
Exactly, yeah, I mean, and right now, the advantage of not having a tank after that event, everybody fast, is that you can just push the exact way LAO are right now. They can outrun most of the horde, plus kill it as they move forward. And they know that Witch is outside. They're going to have probably a hit and a half to take, but it looks as though Reach has already pushed his way up top right there. And now they're actually going to go back down, wrapping around the other side. Okay. That's very coordinated survivor movement, I would say, but also a little... They're bleeding and probably shouldn't be spending that much time doing that, but they're going to bait this out a little bit more, because Lawnmower is about to go slow, and Tool is still bleeding out and is actually already slow. They're going to take this hit to the face. It's going to be a Smoker, Charger, Jockey, and a Spitter for the next.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do right now is just secure as much of the healthy green players as possible. As Bill does get smoked on, tons of damage going out. That could be an in-cap onto Bill, and it is. Nuth goes out to try and save Bill, and it looks like he's trying to take out the Charger as well, but the Charger does run away to just try and stay alive for a little bit. I mean, again, Bill just tries to bait that attack, and I think that was the right call. You know, they were able to clear it pretty well, but he took a ton of damage there.
Lewis is going for the Witch with the Smoker up, and he's not going to quite get the crown. Witch goes in, he gets the crown! A great recovery right there by... That was actually Reach managing to get cleared right as that Witch got aggro, and he got into the crouch, and that's a beautiful crown. LAO, they have definitely turned things around. They're going to draw this to 100, and 18-point game going into map 3. Techno, this is what we talked about in terms of the reversal from map 1.
I mean, yeah, this is definitely what LAO wanted. I'm pretty confused as to what happened with the tank on Navi. Going back to that, that should have turned out a lot different. I think if Navi, had control of the tank and they still pushed back, I think that would have been a completely different story, and that might have been the wipe right there. But we'll have to see what happens here. As you said, only a 100-point difference now. Both teams are in it. I mean, great map from LAO there. So it's going to be very exciting to see what they do, as they are the infected this team. So we'll have to see what happens as the players begin to ready up.
Yeah, they're still playing from behind. I mean, again, they're trying to win this exact match and then see what happens in terms of other tiebreaker factors. They're trying to win this match by a good amount as well, because I do believe Team Navi are trying to get that 9 points and secure their way into the knockout without having to worry about any kind of point differential, anything. And, I mean, this tank at 52%, typically what the survivors do is they bring it all the way back to the safe room, and that can be a really hard tank to play from the special infected side. It is going to be either Lawnmower or Reach's tank for Team LAO, and they're going to have to make something happen with this. Then they can respond on Survivor side, as we saw last map, and we are going live with map 3 right here, Game 18, MavWar Hype Unity Tournament 2018. Team Navi defending a just over 100-point lead on the Survivor side, and we already have a Boomer pre-spawn on LAO.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be the right move, because I think they do know that the Boomer has spawned up there. It looks like Francis is trying to take it out right now. We'll have to see what happens. Boomer does manage to get an arc boom onto Francis there. Good play. Smoker goes out. Jockey also looking for an attack. I mean, Charger does go out a little more, and the Smoker does look for another clear. Triple boom goes out from the Boomer, suiciding himself. I mean, I was going to say that was not a very good first play from Navi there, or LAO, excuse me, but LAO, they turned that around, especially with that triple boom. I mean, Cold Zera and Nevermore, they're pretty low, with Nevermore almost at 75 HP, so very, very good first attack.
Yeah, they made it work. I mean, in a situation like that, you need to have the pinners land either in Singer, get some stumbles for some scratch damage, or have the Boomer land something, like that tried at the start, and they managed to get that damage just from hitting the survivors, even after the pinners got cleared. So now there's this Witch set up. They have a Charger, Hunter, Boomer, and a Jockey again, so no Spitter to maximize that Charger pound damage, but again, if they can get the pinners to land with that kind of sync, that would be ideal, and the Witch is sitting on the side of the train, and I feel like we're going to see Team Navi slow play this.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's going to be very confusing. I think the LAO should capitalize on that, which I don't know if moving right now on this attack is the right idea. I would rather, if I were Team LAO and I needed every point, I would say wait until the Witch, wait for a Survivor to go, try and kill the Witch, and then have that Hunter or Jockey just mess up their day, and end Navi's day right there with a good wipe.
Yeah, and I mean, you see how slow Navi's playing it right here, moving from one room to the other. There is no baiting timer in UMod. There is in zone mods. They really don't have to worry about this right now, but they had left that spawn in the one room open for a little bit beforehand, and Cold Zera is just holding that back spawn. I think with their, and now he's going to come up as well, so there's one spawn block. Disco's going to go to the left over here with the rest of his team. Nice Survivor movement right there. The Infected were not ready for that.
Yeah,
they had about 10 minutes to set up that hit. I don't think they were ready for the Survivors to move that way.
I don't think that ever came into their thought process. Yeah, it looks like LAO was not prepared for that. They were really banking on them taking the right and dropping right on top of that Witch. But no, Survivors did play that really well.
They gotta be careful. If they move too far forward, they're gonna spawn tank. And indeed, they do spawn the tank, and that's gonna be the crown going in. They do manage to get the crown. That was so dangerous right there for Navi for a second, but they do manage to find their way out, and I think they're having a miscommunication right now exactly as to where to go, because Zoe's still in the back, is going to get Jockey right there as the rest of her team has gone forward. The Jock is still out. The tank is right there. This could be an intercept. We're going to keep it here for a second because that one Survivor is still boomed and in the back trying to work their way around, but Lawnmower is decommitting on this?
That might be the right no, I think that's the right play, actually. I mean, he is down to Special Infected. I would say it's smarter to, flank, as the tank, just wait until they're starting to push back, or maybe just wait for your Special Infect.
I don't agree with that call.
This is when he should be doing something, but he's not.
The reason I don't agree with that call is for actually two reasons. One, he has his hittable still up there they didn't get, and then he needs a wipe, so you need the car. And then he had somebody split over there who was also boom, so you could have just gone for the hittable play, and at the very least tried to keep Francis zoned to the one direction so he didn't get back to his team. But now he's in a pretty unfortunate spot right here. He's gonna get LOF pretty quick. Let's send it over to a Team LAO Warm and see how they play the rest of this.
That's a good idea.
Reloading.
Sweet.
I'll try to get you a boom when you come in.
Needs help.
What the hell?
That's true.
That's good damage.
Reloading.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, from that Team LAO War Room. Team Captain Lawnmower not getting it down on that tank, and that is what I was kind of worried about for them. At the stage they're at, where they need that differential, and also with the percentage of that, like, spot the survivors just in not being very good for the special and effective, unless the SI can get that car in, this is not the result that they needed.
No, absolutely not. I mean, when I was calling out that the tank was decommitting, or when you called that out, I thought that was an intelligent move. I thought he was going to wait for his special infected team to be ready to spawn in, and then go towards the safe room and block them off anywhere they go. So they would be pushing back, and they'd get stopped by the special infected, and the tank would commit. But that's not what happened. As they went towards the train area, and the tank just had to try and do something there, and it just didn't. LAO must be very frustrated with that tank play.
Yeah, and these last two boomers on those residual hits have gotten shut down as well, so Team Navi just has free reign of this map right now. Jockey gets shut down, Smoker's gonna get a little pull in the back, Spit's gonna be out on nothing, Smoker insta-cleared, and yeah, that decision to not commit that tank when he probably could have might come back to haunt Team LAO just a little bit, judging on how the result went. And obviously, I mean, if you can't get the hittable in there forthright, then you have to try to do something else, but he burned a pass doing it. So at this stage, they gotta find a way to get a lot of damage onto Team Navi, because like I said, not only are they trying to win this game, but they are in a precarious position when it comes to this group standing. And Navi have done very, very well. Like, even though they have a great chance at making the knockout stage, no matter what happens in this game, they're still playing like full speed ahead.
Oh yeah, they're not holding anything back. They're playing to win, and it shows. They're very. I think they've improved Survivor side and from carried off that last game, and it shows as the special infected begin to go in. Charter gets a bit of damage, especially on Zoe with the spitter doing more. Jockey goes out onto Francis as well. That's a ton of damage, especially on Zoe and Francis. But it looks like Francis is not going to get cleared. It looks like it's going to be an in-cap for him as Bill tries to go save him. But I mean. Wow, very, very good play from Infected there. LAO, they needed that sort of thing. They needed to just slow him down. Setting up in that house, really good call on their part.
Yeah, that was a great hit right there from Team LAO. Imagine capitalizing on that, as you mentioned. That Jockey was not cleared until it got all the way outside the building and around the garage. So that's definitely what Team LAO needed. Right now, Team Navi is still getting those distance points ahead, trying to maintain their lead. And this is a map where if Team LAO is able to shut down that tank once again, they could make up a lot of that score delta. DP, short one for 4 damage going out right there. On the Survivors, Charger is going to curve off of something and not quite be able to land on that smoker pull as well. LAO are saying these hits fast now. They're trying to get that damage quickly and get another hit, because in UMod and Zone Mod, the spawn timers are a lot faster, I should say, than they are in other competitive configurations. So now, if you're Team Navi, you're trying to milk all the distance you can out of this.
Absolutely. I think LAO is playing a bit too aggressive right now. They're just sending out infectives whenever they have them. It looks like they're going to be trying to set up. This is a more coordinated attack. This is what they need right now. They're going to be setting up in the church area right now as a hunter looks for a little damage. He's breaking windows, trying to get out of there. Zoe tries to skeet him. They trigger the crescendo event, alerting the church guy, and it looks like the survivors are going to be playing this outside as infected begin to spawn in.
Right, and there's a quad cap up right now, but for some reason all of them are coming mostly from the same direction and are going to get melted right there in order. And that's a nice level going out too from Nevermore. And that was unfortunate because I'm not sure if Team LAO knew that Team Navi hit the button or not, and then Navi were running away from the spawns, and that's usually a great way to kill SI. If you can gap that distance between the survivors and the special infected like that, it makes it a lot harder for them to land. And now all 4 survivors on Navi are going to be bleeding. They're going to jump on top of these tombstones for about a minute, and we'll see if Team LAO can kill them or not.
Absolutely. It looks like the Spitter does go out looking to try and get some sort of spit damage, get them out of their positions, but doesn't do much. Lewis gets boomed on. Looks like a Hunter goes in, tries to get something. Lewis is smoked away off of his position, and he's going to be taking a bunch of damage from Common Infected right now as he tries to get back towards his team right now. His teammates are helping out clear those Infected, and the Spitter is about to spawn in. This is Survivors are playing this very, very, very well. This is a very good position. I've never actually seen this position in play in Death Toll. I thought they would have taken it towards the benches, but this is an even more smarter play.
Yeah, in competitive, this is the usual spot that you like it because of what you just saw. You're able to pick the SI from a long distance, and when the Survivors are on those tombstones and/or pressed against the wall, they can common hop most of those things just in order to make sure that the SI team can't hit while they're hoarded. Boomer spawns up and gets popped as well, and especially, are they running? Yeah, they're running 3 Uzis one shot. That makes total sense for this open field as well. And there's not a massive amount that team LAO can do unless they manage to get some kind of step like we saw on Putty on that hit a couple of hits ago when they were able to get a smoker pulse and common damage as well. But the horde's already almost over. Indeed, the door is about to open.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, LAO, I think they're wishing they could have done a little more during that crescendo event as they do begin to spawn up. We'll have to see, are they going to be able to get one more final attack in before the Survivors make it? It looks like they're going for that. The jockey does spawn in. Smoker as well tries to get something there, but I mean, nothing happens there. They both get taken out immediately. But, okay, Bill gets in cast. All right.
Yeah, they figured that if they left Bill with 1 HP there, then something was either going to down him or he would just not even be able to limp his way that fast into the safe room here. And now there's going to be this last hit. Bot Hunter gets killed from inside the safe room. Charger rocketing in, does manage to get the down onto Disco by plowing him into the wall. Jockey, Spitter, and a Boomer for the rest of this hit going in. Spitter is going to go and manages to land onto both those Survivors, and Disco actually gets a get up from that charge that put an in cap, and he's going to die from that. That is so unfortunate for Disco. I think he was going for the level as that happened, but that's just an example of Left 4 Dead still being Left 4 Dead in 2018.
Yeah, no, this is not what the Survivors wanted right there. I mean, they obviously were hoping to, just get out of there clean, but I mean, that down onto Disco right there towards the end when he got jockeyed on, that was pretty bad. That signified the end of it, and Zoe got taken out right before the safe room, so really, really not what Navi was looking for there. We'll have to see what happens as they become the infected team this time. I'm really excited to see what they do with the tank because I like the position it was in. It's going to be hard for them, that open field. The Survivors, if they're smart, and, LAO, they saw how powerful that little train backstation is. I mean, I think LAO is going to go back in the position Navi was, and Navi is going to have to come up with some sort of strategy to stop that.
Yeah, Navi's doing a good job right now of staying ahead here, even though they had that Delta closed last map due to the AI tank. And I mean, as I said, I don't like seeing AI tank kind of calls and that kind of stuff, but in an open area like this, I've seen people accidentally send the tank AI when they start trying to work that car hittable in, and it really is going to depend on where LAO needs to it's going to depend on where LAO needs to take the tank depending on what happens, right? Because let's say they go across on that train and they get boomed and they don't want to run back with Boom Horde up. They might have to take another area out there, or they have something stupid happen on the Witch, or they try to bait it and accidentally spawn the tank. And there's so many things that can go wrong in terms of death toll like this that can just wipe a team. And for those who saw my first match also understand that when something like that, gets out of control and you get someone charged towards the hittable or pulled into it or something else like that, you can have a lot of things go wrong in a very, very short amount of time. First hit is coming in without a Boomer though, and everything is getting Uzi melted. Everything.
Yeah, not a very good play from Navi. They're not what they were looking for. I don't think they didn't even do a single. Well, they did 1 point of damage onto Reach, but I mean that's nothing pretty much. Not the play that Navi was looking for. It's going to be interesting again, as you mentioned, to see what happens when LAO gets closer up towards the switch and tank area. And as you said, there's so many variables that you have to take into account for that Navi's going to have to think about. What is LAO going to do? What's going to happen, and we're going to just have to wait and see as this next hit is about to spawn in.
That is so unfortunate for Team LAO. They were trying to draw that Witch through the fence before a hit was up, but because they hadn't gone too close to the stairs, it actually hadn't spawned yet. If they'd been able to get that crown out of the way, it would have been a lot better for them, but now Tool's going to be in the front, trying to get the clears that he can onto the common with a Boomer, Jockey, Charger, and a Hunter in the spawn queue for Navi, and we're going to see about the same level of baiting going out, because this can be very, very detrimental to the Survivors' chances of survival if they eat a lot on this hit, and Tool has actually dropped back down.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. You know, as you said, one of the infected did drop back down. The other two infected seem to be spawning inside the building with a boomer on top. So, you know, they do trigger the witch. We'll have to see what happens here. The witch is trying to climb over the train, goes over the train. They're falling back towards the safe room area, and the infected are moving back with them. We'll have to see what happens. They're clearing out a bit more. Boomer gets a single boom right there. Pretty good play there. The Charger getting in position behind the train. Witch is still getting closer and closer. Hunter goes out, looking for a hit as well. The witch gets crowned, however.
Yeah, and that is a very, very safe play going out right there. Nice skeet going out as well. Charger's going to whiff, and again, nothing really going on that hit until that jockey gets a little bit of damage at the end. Nice play again by LAO. Their survivor movement together has been very, very good the past couple of maps after that first map where they accidentally backed into that hittable. You know, and that you might say, like, okay, they're drawing the witch back, but that is the safest place to do it if they can manage to shut down the SI. However, they have given Team Navi another hit for this cross and the residual tank spawn, and the spawns are going to probably be coming in, but Lawnmower jumped back down, actually, and he missed the jump to the side. Boom goes out, he's gonna get pulled, and now they should be able to clear him without a massive mishap going out, but now they're in a position where Reach is too far forward. If Reach tries to spawn this tank on his own, he's gonna get pounced. He might still get pounced, actually, if he goes right there. And indeed, he's going to be very separated. Okay. Didn't mean to caster curse that right there in terms of Team LAO's movement as a team, but that was a bunch of damage they shouldn't have taken. That was a 2-2 hit, and they should have chilled, because now there's still a smoker and a jockey still in the spawn queue for Team Navi, and they have gotten nowhere closer to spawning this tank.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say LAO, they're playing this very safe. They are improving from map 1. I mean, map 1 was miserable for LAO. They did not do very, very well. That tank play, they did not manage well. But, you know, it's minor mistakes like this that's going to cause them, you know. As the boomer does go out, oh no, and one of them...
Oh my god, no! No, 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 not like this! Why does it have to be like this?
This is bad for LAO. This is really bad, as one of their survivors does get taken out right there. It looks like the survivors are going to try and go back for him, but I mean...
And they still haven't spawned the tank!
They haven't. This is terrible for LAO. This is not good. This is not what they want.
I don't mean to be... Okay. So to put this back in perspective, they draw the witch all the way from where she was sitting over there back to the safe room. They came back forward, got separated by a 2-2, and had to reset the choke. Zoe's about to get maybe jockeyed again, probably not, and then they took an in-cap because they had someone on the other side of the fence when the survivors were again trying to spawn the tank, and that tank still isn't quite up. They still have to drop back down, I think, and then come back, right? Like, back over the choke, and there's gonna be, like, 1 spawn or 2 spawns in the queue for it. The tank, that was almost... Was that an M2 by Tool?
That was.
Tool?
That was very good.
No, that was... Okay, that looked like an M2, but I swear it was the Hunter going bot, and just, maybe he had M2 on the bot, Hunter. I really can't tell. Take it in the hands of Putty. This game is amazing, and how about we take it over to a MavWar?
Sounds good.
Reloading.
I'm getting the car. You guys can hit when the car starts up.
Yeah, 2 survivors on top. Or 1.
You guys want to hit or what?
Yeah. Putty, are you ready?
I think I saw a goddamn...
Let's go. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice hit.
Not too far of a charge.
Yeah, it's something I could have done there.
I'm gonna have to go in soon.
Just try to keep sight, yeah?
Someone's giving me free sight and they're not chipping me.
Maybe
I'm
I'm
losing
playing
sight.
time.
You can push your car in now. Put the car on one side. Push him, like go the other way.
Oh, nice. Ignore the lawnmowers. Go to those.
Nice.
Get that person behind and separate.
He's down. I'm getting it.
Help.
Yeah, good
Play a
escape.
rock from here on. Only throw a rock when they go to pick up. Otherwise, try to keep sight.
Reloading. I'm in some trouble. You're not done yet.
delay.
Come on.
Oh, nice. Ooh, I got the punch.
They've already lost a big chunk of their health on us.
Where the fuck is the car?
Car's right in front of you. I don't know if you're gonna be able to get that.
It's right here. It's right here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't go in AI.
That's fine. That's a good tank. That was good.
Yeah, good damage.
Now we just gotta
Reset them again.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That was the tank in the hands of Putty, getting a pretty good amount of damage right there. Managing to get the in-cap on a tool, plus another curve rock down when they were picking him up, without really using his hittable as well. We had Lawnmower playing the box strat to start, and then I believe Tool got boomed and cornered as a smoker went out as well. So now, I mean, okay, LAO are going to get pills pretty much throughout the entire map. They've got the pill cabinet and maybe one more in the house or something, so if they can just find a way to stay fast and navigate this treacherous choke, then they will be able to hopefully manage to make the safe room with an okay amount of bonus. Charger with some survivor who was inside right there. The smoker is up as well, looking for a pull in the back. Cold Zero trying to find it. Jockey's up as well, and let's see if they can make something happen with this. Smoker is going to try to pull now, it seems, managing to get it onto Lewis, but the M2 does go out, and that is going to be Team LAO managing to push their way through the map.
Finally, they get over the fence altogether. I mean, I'm going to be honest right now, LAO, it's been like 7 to 8 minutes, and they were not able to make a whole lot of progress due to their mistakes. You know, survivors getting pulled back, or, you know, the 2-on-2. And, you know, it'll be up to them now to get any sort of progress now. And as you said, they did manage to get some kills from that pill cabinet. And, you know, you do still have 2 survivors that are in the green. So, I mean, a little health bonus might go a long way. But I don't know. I mean, they are the infected team Navi about to set up in the house right now, just like LAO did last round. We'll have to see what happens here as the survivors start to move forward.
Yeah, they're going to have a Charger, Spitter, Boomer, and a Smoke, and I think there is only one shotgun right now for Team LAO. That's going to be Tool pushing his way inside, and they did find another set of pills in there, so that's 3 so far for the map. Now, the reason I mentioned the shoddy thing is because it's harder to clear things like a Charger or Skeeta Hunter with an Uzi in close range. That Boomer is going to get a single boom onto Zoe, and now I think they're probably going to back up, but Who's actually hoarded inside. If I'm the Charger, I'm charging him right now. Yeah, and that's exactly what they're about to try to do.
Doing.
Charger's going to not be able to quite now the Charger lands it, and that's going to be a spit going down. Nuth, pretty big error right there as one of the major health bonuses, not going back outside, just kind of being inside away from his teammates.
Yeah, he did try, you know, bait the Charger a little bit, you know, try to do a little ring around the rosy type thing, but it just did not work out. He did take a bit of damage, and he lost a bit of that health bonus as well. But it does not seem to matter right now for the survivors. You know, they're pushing on forward. They're not giving up, which, you know, after that first map, you know, after that the delays, getting pulled back from the earlier match, you know, I would not be in the best of moods, but they seem to be fighting, you know, they're not giving up.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a Spitter, Jockey, Hunter, and a Smoker for this next hit. They're probably going to hit on the button. All 4 survivors bleeding except for Lawnmower, who still has a good deal of permanent health. If they can make it with this bonus, they can take the lead over Team Navi, and that's going to be down to that 4th map, Hittable Extravaganza, usually, to see exactly who's able to do what on the infected side with that situation. LAO, in order to make it to the knockout stage, right, they would need to make it pretty much with this bonus. They're shipping that Hunter pretty well, in addition to the starting of the button, and then like wipe and make safe room, and then wipe and make safe room again, I would say, with the last couple of maps that we have here. Smoker's going to get a pull onto the side right there. Jockey's going to land the intercept as well, and that's going to be Reach being pulled all the way into that row of tombstones, almost a double or triple tap there.
Yeah, very, very good play from Navi there. I mean, they did do a bit of damage to that Spitter, also looking to, you know, desperation plays right there. But LAO, I think they handled that pretty well considering. I mean, they were able to chip down that Hunter that was just chilling on top of the church a bit. But, you know, now the survivors are just, you know, it's survive at this point. They want to make it into that safe room. It's waiting now, just clearing out all these commons, getting through this crescendo event as the infected begin to spawn in again. We do have a Smoker, Hunter, Charger, and the Boomer gets taken out almost immediately. Hunter does pre-spawn, goes in for a pounce, but he gets taken out almost immediately as he's about to land his hit. Smoker goes in as well, but gets taken out as well. No damage coming out onto Bill from that.
Yeah, that was a nice play right there by Nuth. Managing to skeet that Hunter with an Uzi and then getting the level on to Nevermore's Charger. And I don't think they should be pushing this quite yet. I think they're probably, unless Lewis is just going for ammo, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe that's what it is. I thought they were going to try to stay inside. And now Reach looks like he wants to keep going forward because he's slow, but this is going to put them in a pretty bad position for this next hit with a 2-2, and he's still inside, actually. So now this Infector are going to go in, managing to land onto him, and this is another positional misplay, actually, right now, I would say. That's going to be a down onto Reach in an unfavorable spot for really no reason.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe he was going for Hammer, like you said, but, I mean, going in that early when the Crescendo event wasn't really too close to ending. I mean, it was about to end, but, you know, a little too early, in my opinion. He does get, Francis gets boomed on. He's looking to get in there, but the Boomer comes out of the safe room and blows up on him again. So the Boomer does manage to hit Francis yet again. That does not matter, as all the survivors are about to spawn in, as the Charger just goes for a last hit on the safe room door.
Yeah, and that's going to be Team LAO taking the lead over Team Navi so far. This is going to be interesting now because they've got the lead, and that's going to help them in the sense that if they can play good Survivor and continue that momentum for this next chapter, and then, like I said, they need to make safe room with a big bonus. Like, they need a lot of health bonus. And it's possible on map 4 Death Toll. It's a little less possible when you can't hold the event out like you can in Zone Mod. But I would say if they have like a Bile Bomb, they could find a way to do that like Crescendo event and manage to make it. The tank's gonna be at 32%, so indeed it is the bring all your bullshit hittables in from wherever you can find them. And as Battle would say, you can never underestimate the power of the bullshit Honda. And I would say, okay, whose tank is this gonna be for Navi? It's gonna be Cold Zero, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so then if Cold Zero can get, like, maybe an in-cap or 2 in-caps, something like that, or maybe even a kill with those hittables, that would be pretty good for Navi, and that would also mean that LAO's chances of making the knockout stages are pretty much dead on arrival at that point, you know? So, for LAO, they gotta try to play it really well. A few teams have tried playing it by the Humvee to the right-hand side, but the other spot's the Graveyard, and I think the Graveyard's actually better.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have to see what the survivors decide to do as the round does go live. We have a Hunter, another Hunter, a Boomer, and a Spitter. So, you know, this is going to be interesting. Looks like Bill takes a little bit of team damage. Boomer goes out, gets a single boom. Hunter goes out as well. Both Hunters looking for something. Zoe takes a good amount of damage along with that Spit going in. And, you know, another Boomer goes out onto Francis as he clears that Spitter. So, I mean, good start from the Infected, especially onto Zoe, you know, getting her health all the way down. Almost to 75% there, and as you said earlier, that tank play is going to be important, but I think the Crescendo event is going to be even more important, and a Bile Bomb for LAO, that's going to be a necessity. I don't think that's an optional thing. They're going to need that Bile Bomb to stand any chance getting through that Crescendo event, because Navi is going to chip away their health so much, I feel, that they're just going to be running so slow and not be able to make it through that common wave.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, because we talk about endurance maps on different campaigns for Left 4 Dead 2, and this is one of the ones where you almost need everyone to be fast for that event when it doesn't stop. I mean, you can go to different places and like take a hit at the bus and take a hit in the laundry room and that kind of stuff, but if you have communists pouring into your face, it's hard to actually move from point A to point B, especially when a hit is up. So LAO not only needs to shut down this tank, but they need to do a great job of health preservation on those other hits. They're inching their way forward right here. Charger, Boomer, Jockey, and a Hunter, 4-team Navi special infected hit, and the tank is going to be up into the hands of Cold Zero. As we mentioned, I thought that Zoe was actually looking to get some kind of push on that tank, but instead, the survivors are going to be working their way back. Tool getting his keep onto that bot. Hunter, Boomer lands a nice tri-boom. Jockey landing as well. That's going to be a slow clear on that Jockey as well. Let's take it over to a Team Navi Special Infected Worm and see how they play it.
Just work him in and take your time.
I think it's in.
You gotta hit it from the right. You gotta hit it from the right. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
You might have to commit with just only that car.
I'm gonna try to get this one in.
I'll throw it in all the way at the back. Yeah, there you go.
Where's that car? Alright.
You got this.
The car's behind the truck.
Should help him. Alright, let's go.
Oh no.
How many punches? Pull him? Somebody? Buddy?
I can't pull.
He's gonna up us up.
Oh wow, that's unlucky.
That's fine.
Decent spread of damage though.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That was the tank in the hands of Cold Zero, getting a good amount of damage spread right there, but definitely a non-ideal situation if you aren't able to bring in an army of hittables to help you with the survivors in that area. His support was able to set him up for a couple of hits right there, but nothing major going out. And LAO's still all fast, 3 pills. What'd you think of that attack now?
I mean, he spent a good amount of time trying to get that car over there, and he didn't really get him a chance to use it. So again, I agree with your assessment that, you know, the throwables were important and he just didn't utilize them enough. I also feel his support didn't come in fast enough. You know, he committed and the support seemed to lag behind a little bit. He wasn't able to get a ton of damage out because the special infected support just wasn't there for him. So I think Navi could play that a lot better than they did, but you know, we'll have to see what happens as they get closer towards the Witch. Was that 52%? Survivors are getting closer and closer every second.
Yeah, I mean, hittable positioning on that tank is everything. He was having a little bit of trouble getting anything in from that other side. Nice double boom going in here right now. Smoker does get self-cleared, I believe. Tool also M2ing that jockey, taking those pinners out. But Elio's got to be careful because Tool is still bleeding. Lawnmower's on the verge of going slow, and Reach has committed his pills. And yeah, like, in that open area like that, where you need hittable somewhere, I'd say 3 at the minimum is what you need, and 1 where you can't have the survivors push out, and then 2 deeper into that backfill where they're standing around the Humvee. But instead, Elio still on their feet, obviously still looking pretty healthy, and they have a couple more hits to take, I think, before this Witch, maybe 1.
Yeah, maybe 1. They are getting very, very close, only 4% away from reaching the Witch. It's going to be interesting. It's right in the middle of the office room, so this could be a great play for Navi there if they can get, you know, a couple infected there by the Witch, maybe a smoker to just punt him down. But they actually don't have that. I would suggest maybe, you know, just getting rid of one of your infected for a smoker, and it appears they do that. The boomer gets a single boom.
Oh, what a crown by Tool!
Yeah, great crown right there, but he does pay, you know, getting hunted and spit on. That's going to be a ton of damage. That's an end cap, almost, pretty much. Right?
Close to it, and that Hunter landed in the back onto a Boom Survivor as well. That was a lot of damage from a 2-2 right there. Tool was in that room, he managed to pop the Boomer, and then he just went for that Witch Crown, but him doing that actually put them a little bit out of position. I'm not sure if he called that or not, and now, I mean, that's a good amount of damage going on a Lawnmower, and they're going to have to maybe find another set of pills to make this even work. And I haven't seen a Vile Bomb from scanning either, so they're going to be in rough shape if they have someone go slow.
Absolutely. It looks like Tool and Lawnmower might be paying that price pretty soon. Especially Tool, as he is at 50 HP. Looks like the special infected are going for a hit right now. Jockey gets a bit of damage, and along with the spitter going in. But you know, that's not enough as the survivors do push their way down the crescendo event.
Yeah, and that is a good idea for what they need to do for the rest of this map based on that hit shutdown right there. And the other thing is, like, not that they have a choice, because like I said, in UMod, you really can't hold the event out. It just will never end. But they're going to need to play it, like, even faster than they would had they decided to choose to blitz it at this point, because Tool's already slow, Reach is already slow, and this hit's coming in. Charter's going to land, Jockey's going to land as well. That's a nice double cap going out with a double boom, but however, Reach was already slow, and he's the one who went down. Nuth trying to keep health bonus here as well, but obviously they're going to have a couple more hits to take, but they're getting through the major alley choke right now.
I mean, yeah, they're not doing too bad. They did just take an end cap, but I mean, he was already pretty slow, so that might have been a benefit to him in the end. But the spitter does go out. A Bill goes down as well, and you know, it appears like the survivors are just getting split apart. This is what's going to happen. You know, eventually the survivors are just going to have to say screw it and just run as the tri-boom goes out right now. Smoker looks for a pull as well, but he gets his tongue cut out as the Hunter goes in for an attack as well.
Yeah, I mean, and now Nuth does have a Vile Bomb, but 2 stars are down. He almost goes down to spit right there, and this actually could be Team Elio wiping if they aren't careful. Nuth's still getting hit by Common. There's the Smoker pull going out, and this is indeed going to be the wipe onto Team Elio just due to the strength of that horde. They didn't find the Bile Bomb until they got into that forward room, which is unfortunate for them. And this is a situation where that event can be the equalizer depending on how tanks go. You can have one team limp to 600 points, or you can have one team make it still all fast at 600 points. And if they get torn apart during that event, not a very high chance for a good bonus on this map.
Yeah, that's completely true. I still think LAO, you know, they should have called that, you know, every man for himself play a little sooner, especially when Zoe got that Boomer Bile. That would have been the perfect opportunity for the survivors who were still up to, you know, get out of there while they still could and maybe get, you know, a little bit of survivor points, you know, a little more distance points, because they do need every single point they can get, as Navi become the survivors right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how Navi plays this on survivor side, at least. I think they're hoping LAO does not do a tank play better than them, because that might be the end of Navi right there.
Yeah, it really depends all on those hittables. Boomer's not going to land much of anything on this opening 2-2, Hunter, and a Spitter for the rest. And the other thing I was going to say with this is that Navi, this is still an important game for them, because if they get to that 3-0, they get the automatic #1 seed from their group. Putty's going to get pounced up top, and it's going to get spit on as well. Boomer's going in for a reboom onto him, not going to land it though, I do not believe. So now, okay. First question is, where does Navi decide to take the tank? And second question is, how many hittables can Reach get in?
Well, I mean, to answer the first question, I still think back where LAO took the tank is the correct answer for Navi. If they can't get those hittables in, especially that car, then Navi should be fine, unless, you know, LAO managed to get some crazy support in. And it's going to be really important to see how Navi moves forward going in. As this Boomer does play, he gets a single boom onto Francis there. Not really what he was looking for, especially since there was another survivor nearby. He could have gotten the double boom, but doesn't matter. Looks like the Charger's committing as well. He goes in for an attack, but misses. Hunter looking for something, but he gets shut down as well, and that's going to be all the infected taking out.
I think they should have waited a little bit more on that hit, because now they're going to get the tank spawn for free. Charger kind of went for a free charge when it really didn't have to, but the tank is up into the hands of Reach for Team, aka Rich, for Team LAO. How about we take over to an LAO Worm and see how he knocks these hittables in?
Yeah, absolutely.
That Dempter's in a good spot.
Let's get a hit.
Killing me! Reloading!
All in, throwing back.
It's close.
Yep.
Car all the way in the back there. Thanks for you.
Oh, fucking hell. My bad. I fucked up.
Help him get the kill. Cover the kill. Help him, Mom.
I think you're okay.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, from that tank in the hands of Reach. Unable to secure that last hit onto that survivor. And that's something that I've seen actually either in scrims or matches, whatever you want to say. I don't know if it's a UMod thing or just a recent thing in some of these games, but that was extremely unfortunate, because that could have at least been the kill on the Cold Zero.
Absolutely. I mean, when he was getting revived, he only had 19 HP, and that was while he was in cap. So, I mean, he lost a ton of damage from that tank. The tank did a really good job, I think, of using those throwables. He spent that, I mean, when he threw that car up into the air, that was like a Call of Duty kill streak, like an AC-130 or some shit. I mean, absolutely insane. And, I mean, overall, good play from LAO there with that tank. They did manage to get a single in cap, and that's better than Navi managed to do with only, like 40 damage on 2 survivors, so pretty good job from LAO.
It's actually comparable damage, I think, because of the SI damage plus the spread that Cold Zero got on their tank. They were able to like spread it around a little bit, whereas we got Putty, Nevermore, and Disco all with over 60 permanent HP. And now for LAO, that's got to be demoralizing, obviously, but also still, you know, you got to do a lot of damage before this event, because if the survivors find either another set of pills or they're able to pass it around and have those 3 fast, they're going to be able to blitz this and maybe even retake the lead going into that map 5. Jockey, Smoker, Spitter, and a Hunter for this hit that they're probably going to save for the Witch.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like that's exactly what they're doing, as the Jockey is spawning over right near the Witch, actually, and the Smoker as well. So I think what's going to happen is the Smoker's going to try and pull a survivor into the Witch, and we'll have to see what happens there when that happens. But, you know, survivors playing this really, really slow. They see the Witch. They know something crazy is about to happen. So, you know, Zoe just baiting. They do bait the Witch. They shoot it.
Oh my.
Look at that. He messed up the crown. The hunter.
Oh my god. Okay, so Nevermore, it was his turn instead of Disco to get left for dead. And there's still a jockey going out in the back that is not clearable by M2, I don't think, sometimes for some reason. That witch stood in the doorway, and then when Nevermore went close to crown it, he stopped right at the distance where the witch could long arm him around the door and just sucker punch him in the side of the head. And that's exactly what happened right there. That's an unfortunate down, no witch points either, but that is the classic proverb that witches are indeed skill in Left 4 Dead 2.
Well, either way, that was not very good on Navi's part. I mean, they did lose that health bonus there and didn't get the witch bonus. But, you know, the Crescendo event has started, and it's going to be time for them to run. You know, they're in LAO shoes at this point. Charger goes in, gets a good damage there, but he does get taken out. Triple Boom goes out as well. So, I mean, the Boomer doing a bit of work there. I mean, and the Smoker gets taken out immediately. Looks like he's going for a Suicide Boom, and that's the Quad Boom right there, confirming all 4 survivors.
Yeah, I mean, and now we're gonna see Disco. Actually, that's not Disco. That's Nevermore. I'm so used to Disco being in the front for Team Navi usually that I'm not used to somebody else just blitzing their way through. But that's the right call, obviously, because now they got to move real fast. And again, like I said, even though there were 3, like the damage was spread out differently and that kind of stuff, like right now this event still has a chance at being the equalizer, dependent on what the special infector are able to do with these hits as the survivors are eating common to the face. It's gonna be a Charger, Spitter, Hunter, and a Jockey for the next hit coming in. And it looks as though Navi are trying to take their time in the back right here again, trying to focus that horde in the front. The hit is indeed going to go in. Lewis is looking to kill that Charger, but he actually gets completely cleared right there and took almost no damage with 2 SI in his face. He got pounced, and then they shot the Hunter and the Charger at the same time. Great play by Disco to just have all the SI go on him and then just move, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty good play on his part as the survivors begin to move forward. And they're going further than LAO managed to do. In fact, Lewis is leading the way. He might be able to make it into the safe room as all the other survivors begin to move in. But Putty gets dragged down. He's falling behind. He got hit by the Smoker, and he's going to have to work his way all the way back up there. And it looks like the other survivor is going to wait for him, try and clear the way for him, and, you know, just make it sure that it's all safe for him to move forward.
Yeah, there's a Spitter and a Hunter up right now, and that Hunter's almost going to land onto Lewis through the window there, but Disco does a good job backing up, making sure that doesn't happen. And all the Horde right now is still kind of going on cold zero because he's essentially a human pipe bomb at this point. They're hoping they can get one more infected right here, maybe to get a reset or at least some kind of damage with the Spitter, maybe a down on a cold zero or on a Putty, because the survivors are trying to push their way down. Jockey's going to go Imagine to land on a Putty, but Knife Clear goes out by Disco once again, and this is going to be the Charger spawning up on top, dropping in, trying to land, managing to get a stumble that turns into a friendly fire down, but that's not the kind of damage that Team LAO were looking for.
No, absolutely not. It looks like Navi is going to be able to make it into the safe room. They close it so they can prevent any more common from spawning in there, and oh my god, there's a lot of common in there. But, you know, it's just one Boomer and a Smoker right now. They're going to have to wait for their team to get spawned in. Looks like the Smoker's going to try and do something here. Maybe a desperation act, maybe just slow him down a little bit so that the other infected Boomer gets taken out immediately. Was he trying to sack that? I don't know. Smoker goes in, hits Francis for a little bit of damage, but I mean, that's it for it. Zoe goes down inside the safe room as well, so, I mean, not what LAO was looking for, but an in-cap is better than nothing, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're going to get the Survivor. Yeah, they are going to get the bonus for him. So yeah, they're going to take the lead, 2,940 to 2682 in favor of Team Navi going into this finale. And it's been a very back and forth game. It's unfortunate, obviously, for Team LAO that the point differential situation is what it is. But if they can find a way still to pull it back on this finale, depending on who gets these tanks, then they would be able still to at least get some kind of moral victory. And maybe the tiebreaker is a little bit different with, I think it was Team Thinking beat Team Hib. Hib was called Royal Flush, right? Yeah. So Team Thinking beat Royal Flush week 1 by like 2,000 points. And actually, I think because they did that, that's actually something that has a big impact on these score differentials for teams in this tournament, because I don't think Team Royal Flush finished that match. Someone crashed on the first half of finale when it had been a close game on hard rain going into that. And from that point, I think Team Thinking won the game by like 1,600 points or something ridiculous like that, because the other team did not play their Survivor half on finale. And because of that, thinking score differential, even though they lost to Team Na'Vi last week, is still very, very elevated, and they get the free win because Royal Flush isn't playing the third week. And I think that's why Team LAO is in the position that they are, despite having defeated... Who did they beat last week? I think they beat Team Thinking last week. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Or was it Team Na'Vi that beat Team Thinking last week? Yeah, it was Na'Vi.
No, yeah,
Na'Vi
beat
right.
Na'Vi beat Thinking, yeah.
Right, so that's why LAO is in the situation that they are right now. And that's unfortunate when you have a huge score differential and then, you know, another team not playing a match. But again, can only do what you can do. Right now they're down by 300 points. Let's see how they do it on the special infected side as Na'Vi try to be a team to get to the knockout stage by default. You can take away this first hit.
Absolutely. Well, we do have a 3-on-1 with a Hunter, Smoker, and another Hunter with a Boomer as well. It looks like they're setting up outside with a Boomer on top of the roof along with another Hunter who's already pre-spawned. Again, Team Na'Vi playing it really slow. They're just trying to clear out all common in the area, you know, very, very careful. We do have the Smoker setting up outside the gate right there. They do begin to spawn in. Hunters go out looking for something. Boomer manages to get a single hit right there as Lewis gets hit by that Smoker. That's a ton of damage. The only person other out there is with a Hunter right now, but Francis comes out, saves them both, it appears. But
that was... Oh, man, that was
really, really bad.
Yeah, that... Okay. So... Many things happened on that hit for that to go as badly as it did, and it basically boils down to survivors not covering one another fantastically with 2 inside, 2 out. Tank is up into the hands of Nuth for Team LAO. Let's keep it here for a little bit. We've had a lot of worms so far, which is usually the way it goes, but I want to see how Nuth positions this hittable, which is now rocketing in onto the side there, and he's probably going to go, and like I said, I would say LAO is probably still playing for the wipe, even though they know the differential thing's almost impossible, but let's see what they decide to do with this hit. It's going to be a Hunter Boomer and another Hunter.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like the tank's just trying to get some rocks thrown in there. I mean, the survivors are pretty much all together right now with 2 just watching the roofs, making sure no infected spawn up there. We do have a Hunter, a Boomer, and then another Hunter ready to spawn in and support whenever the tank needs it. Looks like the tank gets up. Boomer goes in, gets a double boom right there. Hunter looking for some sort of damage. The other Hunter still waiting on top of the roof. Looks like he's great. He is going in?
Yeah. Reason being, once that double boom landed and he gets the car on the putty right there, this is almost a guaranteed wipe at this point. He's going for the kill on the putty. The reason that Hunter decommitted is that after that double boom landed, Nuth definitely wanted to go in with that, because horde in this area is extremely detrimental. The car stops on Putty's dead body and makes some kind of smoking from where that was. I'm really not sure what that was, but now the survivors are kiting back in the direction. They're going to try to shoot forward, though, because there is no car in front. Car is going to be hit directly into the pole right there. There are 3 SI up, obviously, for Team... Oh my god, they're almost hit Francis! I don't think Francis even knew it! There's a pole going back right now as well, and the tank's trying to intercept once again. Hunter's going to land. Nuth's going to jump back in, and he's going to hit the car out of play! That's going to be 2 Hunters still landing. Now he gets the punch on to the last survivor up right there because of that double cap. That hittable almost hit Cold Zera, and then it went flying over the wall when Nuth had him right there. Nevertheless, this is the wipe from Team LAO going out onto Team Na'Vi, and that's exactly what they needed in context of this match.
Absolutely. I mean, Na'Vi right now, their only player alive is Zoe. I mean, that's Disco right now. He's just going for points at this point. There's no way he's going to be able to make it through the survival point. But, you know, Na'Vi, what could they do right there? I mean, they got messed up really bad from that throwable there as Zoe gets taken out by the Hunter, and that's going to be the wipe for Na'Vi. I mean, the tank from LAO, that tank was beautiful. I don't think they could have done it any better. The support was there. The throwables were there. I was afraid he wasn't going to be able to use the car that was thrown up on top of the roof. I was afraid it was going to be stuck. But he clearly proved me wrong as he throws it right back down onto Lewis and managed to kill him with the car.
Dude, could you imagine if tanks could use Molotovs? How freaking awesome that would be if you were able to have a tank like firebomb the survivors. I think that'd be freaking great, actually.
Yes, Frails, that would be great.
Someone suggested, yeah. Oh, well, I mean, Jacob basically did that when he had the tank light itself on fire when it went AI in Pro Mod 5. Whatever the fuck version that was. But, yeah, okay, the jockey's not going to dual-wield chainsaws. We're going to get back to the context of this match once again, because this is Team Na'Vi actually kind of on the back foot here. They had control of that #1 seed opportunity from their group. But at this stage, you know, Team LAO can play spoiler here at least, even if they can't quite make it to that knockout stage, and they still have a great chance at winning this game and turning that on its head, because remember, even if they do beat Team Na'Vi, then every single point they score is going to help Team Thinking if they manage to get to 2-1, and also help their own case at making that differential tiebreaker, even if it is possible or not. Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, and a Hunter for the first hit from Na'Vi.
Absolutely. Well, in terms of this match, if Navi wants to win, they're going to have to get the wipe on this tank hit. So it's going to be very important how they play this first hit and then how the tank goes in with the support. The first hit does go out. Boomer, single boom onto Bill right there. The Hunter does a little bit more damage. Another Hunter looking for a hit, but he gets taken out right away, skeeted. Smoker just hanging out in the back near the bus. Not a very good first play from Navi there. They did not do a whole lot of damage there.
Yeah, they didn't have quite the same amount of synchronization that Team LAO did. Now the tank is up into the hands of Team Captain Disco right here for Navi, and we're going to take it over to Navi Worm because this is probably the most important tank of this match. Navi trying to get that first spot into the knockout stages. LAO trying to stay alive as that car goes in.
3, 2, 1, go.
Dude, I got stuck in the doorway. I should have got Zoe.
Reloading. Reloading.
I'm gonna play long for this, unless I have to commit.
Alright, you ready for us to go?
Yeah, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Watch out!
I might have to commit. I'm probably gonna have to commit.
Reloading. Reloading.
Reloading.
Reloading.
Just give me another hit, actually.
Reloading. Reloading.
Whenever you guys are ready, just go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go.
Nice boom.
I got a rock.
Nice rock.
Yes.
If they all go inside, I'm gonna commit.
I think they are.
I'm committing right now while being safe from.
I got a smoker. Have to help him.
Need help.
Help him, help him.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What the hell?
Oh well, I gotta keep the game close.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That was the tank in the hands of Team Captain Disco, only getting 2 punches on that. LAO completely shutting that down. Very unfortunate for Navi in that circumstance. They do get a charge onto Tool with a spit following up on that, but it looks as though LAO are going to take this game and turn it into a conversation then for seeding at least. And you're going to have, I think you're going to have 3 teams from this group go to 2-1 if they manage to maintain this. Unless there's some insane witch hit or something like that going out. Disco took a lot of shit before he committed in that room, and he wasn't able to land his punches either very well. But we do have a fail crown going out by Reach. The witch is going to die, and that is going to be a single in cap out on to Reach, as I mentioned right there. But again, nothing near a wipe, and a nice keep by Lawnmower as well.
Take this.
And that Boomer is also going to miss, I believe.
We're almost out of here.
And right now, I do believe that the survivors are in a good position to keep working their way forward.
Watch out!
And I think now, like, with the rest of the health situation, I think Navi's gonna be kicking themselves over that tank. Like, I really do. My mind is still at that tank, just because inside's usually not very good, but the tank couldn't get a corner, missed a multi-punch over the van, and that was just how it happened.
No, absolutely. I mean, Navi, that tank play, I think they were expecting so much more. They needed so much more. They needed to wipe at that tank, and they didn't do it. So now LAO has a pretty good chance of making it out. If they can just survive a little bit through this crescendo event, this final event, they could make it, you know. I mean, this is all on the line right now. They need to shut them down as soon as possible. There's only about 200 points between the two teams. Everything is on the line here.
Yeah, and I'm looking at my chart here that's on the MavWar website that has all the information on point differentials, and Natus Vincere has a great point differential at this stage, right? However, if they lose this game, the question is going to be by how much. And I think Team Thinking's was fairly high as well, so it would be in their best interest as the tick goes out and gets an okay amount of damage to keep hitting the way that they are. And also to get a wipe at this second tank they're going to get, it's going to be up in the hands of Coldzera. It's possible to get a wipe at that tank or play Rock Tank, but they should definitely not give up on the special infected side of things right now.
Absolutely. Well, LAO is doing a pretty good job right now of defending themselves from that special infected attack. I mean, they wiped out pretty much everyone from Navi on that first hit when they started the event. And I mean, now it's on LAO here. I mean, everything is on the line for them. They're going to be trying to take it up in the hills. Hunter does begin to... never mind, Hunter does not spawn in. There is no Hunter. Commons begin to flood the area. Smoker goes in, tries to get a pull. Boomer goes in, gets a single boom as well. Looks like the Spitter's just waiting for something. He goes in with a Desperation Spit. Does a good amount of damage on Nuth, but I mean, nothing major right there. Again, good defense from LAO.
Right, so Team Thinking's point differential is just about 1,600, and Team Navi's point differential is just about 2,400. They can't let LAO make the boat, essentially, with bonus. If they make the boat with bonus, that's going to turn into a really, really interesting scenario for the last week. And the other thing that kind of sucks is that because Team Royal Flush forfeited, Team Thinking then aren't going to have a chance to change their differential either, because they could have played against Royal Flush and gotten points, but because it's a forfeit, it's just going to be a 0. Like, they don't get any increase, and they don't get any decrease. They might get 1 point for a symbolic win, but that's about it. Quad cap attempt is going in. Charter is going to land onto Nuth, taking him very far away to free charge on to the other side right there. Putty doing a good job managing to land that, and this is going to help Team Navi's chances. But yeah, actually putting that in conversation, that forfeit when going out, and did he just second him? I think he did. I don't know what the legality is on that. He says wrong bind, but specking SI like that during a match is definitely not ideal.
Well, we'll have to hear from a referee or an admin when the game is over on how that affects their score. Doesn't really matter right now. Double boom goes out. Spitter tries to split them apart a bit. Zoe does go down. That's Nuth going down, and all the survivors are pretty split apart right now. I mean, they're coming back together on Zoe, you know, trying to get her up right now. But, you know, Commons are flooding her. It's going to be defend her while they get her up. And, I mean, there is a Jockey in play right now. Jockey does go out onto Lewis, trying to stop them from reviving, and that's what happens. I mean, they're going to get Zoe up right now.
Yeah, they still have 2 pills on the dock as well. That was unfortunate that Nuth ate that charge for Team... Well, technically for Team Thinking at this point. They're trying to have their point differential go differently. But it's going to be a Boomer, Smoker, and a Charger coming into the queue right here as that pull charge does go out onto Lawnmower, getting the in cap. We are having the survivors going and getting those last couple sets of pills as well. Probably going to pass it to Tool, but that Spit Boom is going to go out as well. Good amount of damage. That's going to be a stumble on a Lawnmower too, almost in-capping him. So LA are going to win this match, and good on them for coming back, I would say, but then I'm not sure if it's going to matter too much in the grand scheme of things, since it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to make the boat, and Navi should have that wipe secured at their second tank. And because of the forfeit, if that's what's going to be standing in the other game that would have happened, then we'll be able to declare this group pretty much finished by the end of this match. Charter's going to land as well on to... Look at that Tool actually eating that free charge. Almost a 3-cap going out as well, and those 2 free charges, first by Nuth and then by Tool, in terms of being on the receiving end of that, just made this a non-issue for the second tank.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. As you said earlier, LAO most likely not going to make the boat, but that doesn't really matter right now because they are in the lead in terms of points. So they are going to win this match, it appears. But, you know, that's going to be pretty bad for Navi. I mean, they are going to lose that status as undefeated right now. GGs are going out from both teams. I think they know it's over. The game is pretty much over with only 1 survivor up in a tank hunting him down. He's trying to revive Bill, but I think it's a lost cause as this Charger spawns in. He's so afraid. LAO, Nuth is just running away, trying to get away from that Charger, trying to survive for as long as possible, but it's a lost cause. Close your eyes, go to sleep, it'll be alright.
We can say 2 different congratulations, I believe, right here. The first one is going to be for Team LAO winning this match, Game 18 right in front of us. And the other one, I believe, is going to be for Team Navi, as they are going to win this group in the MavWar Tournament Hype Unity 2018, and that will put Team Thinking in the number 2 knockout spot there. So LAO gets the 2-1, but they actually get eliminated due to point differential, and I think that same point differential was the one that gave, like I said, like, it's put them in a position that was just unwinnable, essentially, in terms of making it on that tiebreaker. And like I said, the big key here, actually, when we look back at it, there's a couple things, but most of it revolves, I should say, around Team Royal Flush. And that's why in a group stage tournament, when you have point differential as the tiebreaker, it's important for all the teams to play their matches, because, you know, the fact that Royal Flush didn't finish out their hard rain game and the fact that they weren't able to play their third match, you know, immediately, like, pretty much freezes the point differentials of what they were. So, again, congratulations to LAO for winning the match, but commiserations for, unfortunately, I do believe, being eliminated based on that tiebreaker. Any last words here, Techno?
I mean, again, great job from for LAO. They did win the match by a good amount, you know, 100 points. Very, very close game. Very exciting to watch. Both teams played at their best. I think Navi improved a lot, especially on Survivor side. Back in an earlier game when they were playing carried off against Thinking, they seemed to be a lot less strong on the Survivor side. You know, they were definitely an infected team, and that showed here with a lot of their infected plays. Not so much on their tank plays, going to be honest, but their infected plays for the most part were very strong and consistent. Their Survivor plays improved a lot, and I feel like Navi is going to become a very serious threat towards the end of this tournament with whatever teams are left standing. I believe they are going to make it in to the knockout rounds. Is that correct?
Yes, indeed. I do believe by the differential there, they have won the group.
Well, good for them then. I'm excited to see what they do in the future, but a big round of applause for LAO again, because they did win the match. Great job.
Indeed. And we would like to give a last second shout out. Oh, also, of course, MavWar MVP for this match is open over on mavwar.com/vote MVP. And then also shout out to the Found Time Network. Shout out to eFreak for being the sponsor of the servers and also a co-tournament sponsor. Thank you to Xbye for doing the stream, and to you, Techno, for doing this cast with me. Our next game is going to be tomorrow night, Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I won't be casting. I'll be in the match, and that is between Team Lovebone and Team The Gang on Carried Off from Group D.
Oh,
so
well, good luck for
you.
you.
Thanks. Yeah, it'll be fun. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and we will have some more Left 4 Dead 2 action for you in less than 24 hours from the MavWar Hype Tournament. Have a great rest of your evening.
Goodbye.